This is Anthony Kirkpatrick with Sikkar Enduro. I just wanted to go over the power valve system on the 01, 02, maybe 3, 4, whatever. RM250, the Suzuki RM250. This is a 2002 RM250. Anyway, you can adjust the power valve. On this one, we got 11-ounce flywheel weight and carbs tuned up. It's got a fatty pipe and a turbine core 2 muffler. So what you do is you can pull these two screws out. They're 8mm, and you can pull this piece out. There's a spring inside of it about that long, all right, about an inch long or so, inch and a half long, and that goes to the power valve, which has a notch in it to go back and forth. When you put it in, you can put it in straight. There's a tab inside, spring, then the power valve. When you put it just in there, if you go, it'll be, this one's the mild, so this is setting 2, this would be setting 1. If you turn it this way, the spring tension is less, harder hit, a little tougher to start sometimes, especially when it's cold. But when you put it in, you get a little slack, and this thing will be about right here when you go to put it in. And as you turn it this way, it'll come up to this one. To line it up with this little tab right here. All right. So when this one is here, spinning it this way, or when you just put it in, you turn it just a little bit, that's a really hard hit in the mid-range. It's what I call wild. It'll be tamer up front, but come on about mid-throttle a lot harder, and give you that real snappy motocrossy 250 two-stroke feel, the rocket ship feel. If you go ahead and you turn it, keep turning it past this, so this one right here will be coming up and around, come up this one. It puts a little more spring tension on. That tames it out, a little bit more controllable power. I'm doing enduro and technical riding and stuff like that, so I want to keep traction, so I'm going to be using my clutch a lot more. To get through some of the gnarly rocks and mud and stuff like that. Like I said, we got the 11-ounce flywheel weight, just a key and carburetor. You can just turn it to the mild, screw these down to where it's tight. What happens when you tighten this one first is it kind of wants to push it down a little bit. So I like to tighten this one up first and then this one, but make sure the O-ring inside is good. I'm using the just find one at like Harbor Freight in a little package of O-rings, and slide it on there. Make sure it's got a little bit of grease on the outside or anti-seize so you can turn easily, and you'll feel the spring tension coming on. Once you get it here, it's easier to take a pair of pliers and turn it. I can turn this with my fingers, but you don't want to go much past that. The more you have it, the power valve held with more tension, the tamer it's going to be, but it's going to get really fluttery. These only have about 2 settings, but my Husqvarna TE300 has the yellow spring in it, which is mild, and that would be the same thing as doing this, tightening it up or loosening it. It's having it on setting 1 would be like the red spring in a Husqvarna or KTM. Setting 2 is kind of like almost like the yellow spring or green spring in the Husqvarna KTM, but on the RM250. So I hope that kind of clears up the power valve. There wasn't a lot of videos for me to figure this all out. So I had to kind of play around with it and get it figured out, and nobody really had any knowledge on it, but here's a pretty good video, I guess you would say, for me, that kind of explains what the power valve is on the RM and how to adjust it for you guys that want to do enduro and motocross. So I would say the first setting would be more motocrossy feeling, hard snap coming out of the corners, rocket you through and out of the corners and up faces of jumps. The setting 2, you can still do motocross on it, but you're going to get a little bit more traction. And it's going to be a little bit more tamer and easier to modulate the clutch and just keep traction. That's the main thing. So it's not going to be as hard as a hit. It's going to be a little bit more controllable of a bike. you have a little bit more confidence in the bike. It's not gonna have that unexpected explosion of power like the 252 strokes are known to have. So anyway, I hope that clears it up. If anybody has any more questions or needs me to post a better video of this, I just wanted to sit here and I got this all tuned up. This is my brother's bike, so I tuned it all up for him, and did an 11-ounce flywheel weight from Steely and the Boise factory cover. So I knocked it out for him. We're running 50-to-1 red line in here with premium gas, 168, 48, position 3, 1.5 turns out. It's April 20th, I believe. It's about 68 degrees outside, so barometric pressure I think is like 30.14. So if you have those conditions, then that's a pretty good setting, but kind of mess around with your bike. There's a really good app that I really like on iPhone. I think it's on Android too, but it's called Jetting for Suzuki. I think it's a $5 app. I own them all for my Husqvarna. I like it. It's a Mikuni carburetor. My trials bike, my gas 300 trials bike, and my CR125. So I use that for everything, and it's spot on. Even though this has a gnarly pipe, I just give it a quarter more turn in. So wherever if it says 1.5 out, I come in 1 1/4 just to give it a little bit more gas for the fatty pipe. Turbine Core 2 doesn't really mess with it too much. Running 1350, or yeah, 1350. So anyway, thanks a lot. Like, share, subscribe, ask me questions if you need to. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.